This might be a little controversial, but I am not the girl that you want to mumble some to when you walk past me. Because I am so quick to tell you to shut the up or talk back or say some slick back to you. Because all I'm trying to do is go on a walk and relax for my mental health. I'm just having some me time. I'm keeping to myself. So why can't you do that? Again, it might not be very ladylike of me, but I do not care. Don't say nothing to me. And especially now that it's getting warm outside, no. That's what we're not gonna do, okay? Because it's gonna get too hot for that. So just keep it pushing, mind your business, and don't say nothing.
Feel better now after spouting so much vitriol? Because quite frankly, that comment says absolutely nothing about me, but it does reveal a lot about the character of the person that made it.
Y'all, so newly single, testing out the waters, you know, seeing what's in this dating pool. There ain't here. But there was a guy recently who was like, I was like, do you think I'm crazy? And he was like, no, but I do have opinions. And I was like, well, what's your opinion? Let me know. And he was like, well, I think you're conceited. And I was like, as I should be. Because if I was insecure, then you would say that I was insecure and crazy. So he's like, well, I'd rather you be insecure so I could control you. What? No. Never will happen. And I'll stick to being conceited and uncontrollable. Thank you.
So you're telling me that if a man posts negative content about his wife on social media, that she needs to just realize that that man hates her and she needs to leave. But if a woman posts negative content about her husband, it's just a joke. Make it make sense.
Okay, so I need y'all to be but honest. Do I look mean? Do I look mean or like unapproachable? Because I'm trying to figure it out. I've been going to the gym for 3 years now, and one guy has approached me in the gym. One guy. I can name the situation. One guy. And I've never had a girl like come up to me and want to be my friend, which is like not their problem, not their fault. Like, I'm not expecting anyone to approach me, but I feel like I'm always approaching others and like talking to others. So I'm like, there's gotta be something wrong. Like, something like, why do people not want to like talk to me? And not like in a sappy way, like I'm genuinely curious. Like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know. I'm like literally wearing bright pink right now. Like, is that not approachable? I think it is, okay? I don't know. Let me know.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
It is 100 times easier for a woman to approach a man versus a man approaching a woman, and I'm going to tell you why and how I do it and why I think more women should be approaching men. Of course, being a woman, I think you want a man to approach you. You want men to approach you in public. You want them to be the one pursuing you. But let's set the stage here, right? It's always the men who you are not interested in that come up and approach you in public, that have the courage to come up and say something. And then you blow them off, like whatever. It's never the cute guy across the bar that actually comes up and approaches you. Even if you're making eye contact with him all night, you'll leave the bar and you'll be like, why didn't he say something? And the reason is because men nowadays, like, to approach a woman, you have to come up with something clever, funny. You can't be weird. Like, if you go up and she's with her friends, then her friends might think you're weird. There's all these things that go into the success rate of a man approaching a woman. So if I was a man, I wouldn't approach a woman. So now you're a woman and you are in public and you see a cute guy and he's with his friends. Go up to him, say whatever you want. You can say, when was the last time you cried? You can say hi. You can say, you look good. You literally don't have to put any thought into it because you're not going to be perceived as creepy. You're 5'2" and 110 pounds. Like, they're not going to see you as a threat or scary. The worst that can happen is that they're married or in a relationship. And even then, sometimes they're going to say yes. You have to say no. But you're going to have a 100% success rate for single men. They love being approached. Like, it's something that shows that you're confident and it also gives them confidence. And if you go up to a friend group, you can talk to them all. Like, I promise you, just if you see a guy that you think is cute, go up and say hi to him and it's going to work out. You're going to be on a date with him within 2 to 3 days. I promise. I was in the Starbucks drive-thru with my girlfriend and we saw 2 guys in a truck behind us. So they looked kind of cute. I rolled down my window. I said, hey. They said, hi, what are you drinking? I told them my order. He asked for my number through the window. It was cute. I gave him my number and he was like, I paid for your Starbucks. And I was like, thanks, I was gonna pay for yours. And then next thing you know, he's asking me on a date, he's texting me, and he calls me his cute Starbucks girl. So this is just one example, but you can do it anytime, any place, anywhere, and it's gonna have success.
You know, I don't think modern women understand you can't spend 10 years telling men their attention is harassment and then be confused when they stop giving you the attention that you said was harassment. It's not really a mystery. That's simple cause and effect. What are we doing here?
Do you think most women like men? No, especially in today's society. Oh, hell no. These women hate men for no reason. Do
you think most women actually like men?
No, most women don't like you guys. However, a majority of men absolutely like a majority of women. That creates obviously an imbalance. With feminism, with technology, them being able to provide for themselves essentially, it makes it even worse for men because now they really don't like you and they don't have to deal with you. It's not that they necessarily hate you guys, but it's you guys are invisible to them. Girl walks into a CVS, goes to the clerk, pays some guy there. She's not going to remember that guy. She might pay attention to maybe only one or two guys that she actually found attractive. Men, we're on the other hand, we go into a CVS, we are looking at all women like they're all visible to us. Women don't operate like that. A majority of men are virtually invisible to them.
I saw a guy looking at me at the gym today. We were smiling at each other, so I smiled back. And then I just said, and I went over to him and I was like, hi, my name is Tosh. It's great to meet you. Your sweats look like they're kind of bulging. No, it's not gonna happen, guys. Like, you have to go up and talk to her. Girls aren't gonna come and approach you. If anything, girls don't get approached nearly as much as they should anymore. Like, even worse than before. Like, it already was a problem and now it's even worse. If you approach a girl, the least that will happen is that she'll just feel good that a guy approached her that day. Like, you just did her a compliment. And if you want easy lines to say when you're approaching a girl, check out my page. I have the best ways where you won't come off creepy. Honestly, I have ways that you won't really get rejected. So yeah, I got you, daddy.
Imagine being so like brainwashed and brain that you're like, oh, a bear in the wild, you just have to run him. Honey, he'll eat you.
Women feel so unsafe around men, majority of the time a straight white man like yourself, because of how many of them manipulate them, gaslight them. With a bear or an animal, all you have to do is get away from it. Men will manipulate women into sleeping with them. Men will manipulate the people around them to make women feel crazy. Okay, so that's where that analogy comes from.
I don't know who hurt them. I'm sorry to ask. I don't know what man in your life did you dirty. I don't know what happened that made you able to just so easily put all men into a category of manipulative, awful, scary. Women are afraid.
There's quite literally nothing that aggravates me more than the amount of men that I see on the New York City subway that do not stop to help women at all. I will see women struggling with literally like 60-pound strollers. They have a baby on their arm. I will literally sit there and I'll wait and I'll be like, okay, let's see how long it's gonna be. Some man obviously has to see.
Hey guys, So you saw somebody that needed help and you didn't help them? Why didn't you help them? Women are just as capable as men, right? Women say they don't need men in any capacity. Help your sister out. Why are you watching that?
And remember, ladies, if he's inconsistent, that means that he wants you to get with a new man. You're welcome.
Or maybe he's an inconsistent person, and that's not ideal, but a lot of people are. So if she's inconsistent, do we hold her to the same standard if she makes dinner 5 days a week instead of 7? It's just so weird how men are held to a much higher standard than women ever will be. Why is it that men get absolutely no understanding for anything? And is it that he's inconsistent? Is he overwhelmed? Does he have too much on his plate? We never consider those things. What about the things he does do for you? Do you see, acknowledge, and appreciate those things? Or do you only see the things that he's not doing? Because a man will stop giving effort if the effort he's giving is not appreciated or acknowledged. And why wouldn't he change things up in that case? A lot of women go into relationships expecting everything to just be handed to them. And they can't even be bothered to at least say thank you. It's just expected. But if men expect anything, they're heavily shamed for it.
The bar that much. A couple weeks ago, I posted a video. I was sitting at Trader Joe's, getting ready to go in, and a couple next to me in the car, they come over and the guy simply just opened the door for his girlfriend, wife, whatever she was. And I said, oh my God, that's so nice. Wow, I love seeing that. And I wrote, oh my God, you idiot, that should be the bare minimum. Like even role reversal, if I was at a store and I saw someone walking behind me, a guy, and I held the door for him, like at the time, no one was saying anything. Yes, a ton of females liked the video, but for some odd reason, it now has made its way over to like the male side of TikTok, and it has gotten some traction and pissed off a lot of the men. I am getting hate comments that I'm saying that I think it should be the bare minimum that you possibly maybe open the door for your girlfriend once in a while, or wife, whatever she is. One guy suggested in his comments that I should be wearing a helmet, insinuating I'm a and then I said, what? That's not very nice. And then he proceeded to write back and post a picture of clown shoes. What am I missing here?
These same women out here who say they don't need a man are the same ones asking where all the good men went. You told them to leave. You told them to leave. They left. They're not abandoning you. They're not doing you wrong. They're listening to what you said, and they're moving out of the way. What are we doing? Come on, guys.
Imagine telling your husband you want to start walking 10,000 steps a day, and so now before you go to bed every night, he's like, so did you get your 10,000 steps? No.
These are literally the best men to be with because they're holding you accountable to your long-term goals. And yeah, maybe it is a little awkward when he asks you and you have to be like, no, I didn't do it. But I mean, I bet that makes you feel more motivated to do it the next day, right? Because you know he's gonna ask. I mean, imagine being married to a man that actually listens to you. Some ladies complain that that's not the case for them, so... And I know some ladies share goals to feel connected to their person, not to create a shared accountability contract. And I know you wanted him to be excited for you in that moment and then you not actually do it. But what he heard was, help me stay on track with this. And he's doing just that. And if that doesn't show care, I don't know what does. And sometimes accountability feels invasive when it happens. Everyone loves the idea of being held to their goal until they don't meet them. And a lot of men, they do that because they would love for you to do the same to them if they mention one of their goals, for you to be their biggest supporter.
I made a video a couple days ago asking men what they thought about if a female was to approach them in like a coffee shop or a setting that wasn't a bar. I got a lot of comments, like over 100, from men being like, it's so flattering, it's so nice, it says a lot about a female. And this was one of my favorite comments. Basically, he was saying like, it would be really nice, shoot your shot. And like, guys, I think get nervous to do it because it can come off as creepy or overwhelming, especially in a public space. And like, maybe we notice a guy and they don't notice us. I don't know, that happens. All I'm saying though is I think it's okay to normalize like females going up to men. Very nerve-wracking. Again, I don't really do it, but I think I might attempt one day, especially if like I am in a setting that's comfortable and I obviously ask him like, hey, what are you doing? Or I like your hat, or something very simple. And I am not saying that females need to do this all of the time, every day, but I'm saying if you're in a situation or a scenario and you're like, okay, that guy is really handsome, really cool, really smart, like deep breath, I think we should just go up to them and say hi, or I like your hat. I'm gonna challenge myself and maybe do that, you know, in the next couple months or something if I am in that situation. But if you're a female, read all the comments in my post I made like a couple days ago because it's really interesting. All right, that's all.
I read a comment today from a man that said, I protect my woman because she's worth it, not because she needs it. And honestly, that hit me because a lot of people do not understand that type of love anymore. It's not about control or weakness. It's about value. It's about a man saying, I see how strong you are, but I still want to be your safe place. It's protection that comes from admiration, not obligation. That's what partnership looks like. It's knowing she can handle it, but still choosing to carry some of it anyway. It's the kind of quiet strength that lets a wife relax a little because she knows she's covered, not caged. When a husband leads with love like that, it changes how a woman shows up too. She softens, she trusts deeper, she gives more. Because real protection doesn't take power away, it multiplies it. That's what a husband and wife marriage should feel like. Safe, steady, and sacred.
So you have men out here that have stopped approaching because the risk-reward ratio has kind of flipped on its head. You're risking embarrassment, rejection, and maybe even getting reported. And then you have to look at what the reward is for all of this stuff, right? The woman might not even respond. So you're risking all of this just to get clowned. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Why are young black couples not getting married? Specifically, why are young black men not asking?
The modern man there's a lot less incentive on getting married nowadays. Many would argue that in the modern society, the man stands more to lose. Because you understand, and this is a philosophy that I wrote when I was in high school, men look at women as investments. So a real man, like a real elite top tier man, we look at women as investments, not as in, what's in it for us, give and take. It's an emotional investment. It's a spiritual investment. Women look at men for a different type of, not so much investment. They're looking for, you're more based off of safety, security. You're in that realm of like, make me feel good, make me feel safe, make me confident that I made the right choice. We're generally looking at women as we bring them a seed and we just need you to help it grow. That's it. So when men say, you're not supporting me, they're basically saying, hey, I have a seed here. Can I get some water? So in the modern society, I think why men aren't asking is because there's fears of having that failed return on investment.
So are you single or in a relationship?
I'm not gonna answer that one.
You wanna get in there?
Yeah?
Yeah, you're single or in a relationship?
I'm in the relationship.
Really?
No, we're not.
Y'all aren't together?
What?
That's what she said. They say for like 6 months we're in a relationship, and then they say on camera they're not. I always feel bad for those guys. It looked like I was one. Thank you. I needed you more than you ever do.
Even with that man being intoxicated, he had enough clarity in that moment to realize that his girlfriend was not only not wifey material, but no longer girlfriend material. Because clarity and respect for a man is everything, and this woman clearly did not have that for him. And that man not only realized it in the moment, in real time, he made a real-time, game-time decision that it was over. They weren't dating anymore. Not only that, but then he thanks the interviewer for giving him this clarity. Clearly, this is a man that made all of the king moves that he needed to make.
Women nowadays will literally be like, I can't find any good men. There are no good men left. And then they'll be like, I just need 6 feet, about like 6 inches, and like 6 figures.
Even if this video was just meant for fun, it's still another case of men acting like women have impossible standards so that they feel better about themselves when they don't meet them. And it bothers me because these guys are acting like women are looking down on men who they would consider less than perfect. But have you ever heard a woman talk about a bum who she's in love with? Because she'll make every excuse in the world for why that man is incredible and just misunderstood. So let's say, for example, that a man has no job. She's not gonna let you sit there and call him unemployed. No, she's gonna tell you how it's probably because no one ever encouraged him and that he's gonna be able to do anything he sets his mind to once she just believes in him. You're acting like women will only date men who make 6 figures, but I know women who are working 2 jobs with full insurance and a 401k who are dating men with 60 cents in their bank account because she thinks he has potential. I don't know how you can act like women will only settle for rich men anyways when most families are living paycheck to paycheck and can't survive on one income. Because I think that means they married for love. And don't even get me started on what's between the legs, because there are women in 30-year marriages who have never successfully had a no, and you're gonna act like women are out here throwing the whole man away because of his size? Because I don't think so. In fact, there are women out here faking O's so that the men in their lives don't feel inadequate, and yet you're gonna act like we're out here bringing measuring tapes to our coffee dates? And sure, when it comes to height, maybe some women do have a preference for men who can reach the top shelf or the cookie jar, but that's all subject to change. If he's a good man with good qualities, then she may just fall in love and try to convert the whole world talking about how we love a short king. Listen, the truth is that even you don't believe this nonsense, because if you really believed that women had impossible standards, then you wouldn't be telling them to pick better men at every opportunity. So when I see videos like this, I realize that they're usually not mad about what women want. They're just mad that women don't want them.
What a lot of these modern women don't understand is those same men that you're passing up when you're 25, in about 10 years, about 10, 15 years, those are going to be the same men that you want to give you the time of day. Y'all 25, you young, you looking good and all that other stuff. You got it going on until 10, 15 years later when ain't nobody paying attention to you like they used to. And now you want to be in that man's face.
Married couples, surround yourselves with people who honor their vows the way you want to honor yours. Men, find other husbands who love their wives out loud, who protect their homes, who don't make jokes out of cheating or disrespect. Women, link arms with wives who speak well of their husbands, who aren't secretly bitter towards their marriage. Because who you let in your inner circle will shape the way you think about love, loyalty, and respect. If you are around people who treat commitment like a prison sentence, eventually you'll start to question your own freedom. But when you are around men and women who speak life into their spouse, who are proud to serve and sacrifice for their family, who challenge you to grow instead of cheat, you'll find yourself becoming more of a stronger, more intentional partner. Keep company with those who make you want to show up better for your marriage, not ones that shame you for loving hard.
If you rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you do?
What?
Yeah, let's get back to reality.
No, I'm in reality.
No, you're not in reality.
I'm in reality.
You're not in reality. If you're going to be a 10, we can end this. Because that's not reality. You're not a supermodel.
So I'm far from ugly, honey.
I didn't say that.
So
you made this combative, man. If you really want to say you're a 10, that's fine. But show me what the model contracts are.
I don't want to be a model.
I didn't ask you whether you want to be a model or not.
Somebody asked me today.
But you're not. But ma'am, you're not a. But you're not. But you're not that. Come on.
Okay. Well, you said show me where the model contract. Somebody asked me today. Oh, do you model?
Let's try this. Let's try this again. Where would you honestly rank yourself?
I just told you.
A 10.
Yeah. Maybe to you I'm not, but beauty's in the eye.
No. So you're a 10.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that there are no women that are more attractive than you?
What?
I'm asking.
It's hard.
If you're a 10, that means you're at the top.
It's like I'm not.
If you're a 10, that means you're at the top. A 100 on the test is as high as you can go. It's a perfect grade. You're saying you're a 10, a 100 on the test. Are you saying that there's nobody who scores higher than you on looks? You're in the top percentile. Worldwide.
Possibly, honestly, but it doesn't matter to me. No other woman I'm intimidated by, not one. I'm not.
Welcome back to another episode of Diabolical. This one's kind of long, so I'm gonna try to talk fast and get through it. So, a little while ago, I was talking to this guy. He's 30. I thought he was 31 at the time, about to turn 32. So I was like, oh, he's gonna be more mature. My fault. Well, things were going well. We had been like a couple dates and blah, blah, blah. And then we were supposed to go on a date on a Friday, and then I texted him and I was like, hey, like, are we still on for tonight? And he was like, oh, I have to go to Austin for the weekend for my friend's birthday. And I was like, why did you ask me to hang out Friday then? But whatever. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. He was like, we'll do something Sunday. And I was like, perfect. So he like ignores me the entire weekend, and I was like, tight, got it. So we're ghosting at almost 32. And so I was gonna say something because I didn't care about not texting why he was in Austin, but like telling me you're gonna take me on a date Sunday and then not saying a word to me, not canceling, nothing. I was like, that's insane. So I was annoyed, obviously, but I was just like, whatever. And then Monday comes around and he texts me and says, hey, I'll call you tonight. I had to go to Austin for my friend's birthday this weekend. I just liked the message. And I was like, I guess I'll hear him out, whatever. No call. Never, like, why would you say that? And then so a few days later, I just thought about it again randomly, and I was like, how funny would it be if I like said something? So I did. And I said, ghosting while pushing 32 is crazy work, by the way. And tell me why he responds within a minute. I sent that at like 7:59. He responds at 8 o'clock on the dot. Have had the craziest work week. Sorry for not reaching out earlier. And then I'm 30 with the smiley face. My bad. Who knew that 30 to 31, you just have so much growth and you just mature so much? My bad. How dare I not know that? I can't lie, I did laugh when he said that I'm 30 with the smiley face, but that was diabolical. So men, take a hint, don't text a woman and tell them you're gonna call them if you're not.
These modern women don't realize how insufferable they are. And so when a man pops up with a new woman in a week, they're sitting up there talking about, well, how come he was able to move on so fast? Well, first of all, you, for months, for years, haven't been doing what you're supposed to be doing in the relationship. And so when y'all finally break it off and go your separate ways, this man don't really have anything to miss because you wasn't giving him anything in the first place.
How much money do you think that a man should make in order to be able to create a work-life balance and provide for his woman?
So instead of you worrying about, man, I make 50K, you should sit down, take a year, put your extra money instead of into a woman, put it into future wealth. Go take a trade, go back to school, go educate yourself, go to a Job Corps, go figure out a way to start a side hustle or a business that can bring you extra money. And if you spend just 1 year doing that, by the next year, you'll go from having 50K to having 70K, to having 140K.
Yeah.
If you just sat down for 2 years.
Yes.
So if we thought with our future self, right? The foundational being, instead of thinking about how lonely our spirit is right now.
Yes.
Go sit and pray, talk to God, get it together. Men don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They want to show status, right? By having a beautiful woman. Oftentimes, I mean, let's face it, a lot of these men that we're dating now have been raised by single moms. And so they are used to a woman supporting them to a certain degree.
Yes.
No matter what their career is, no matter what their job is.
Yes.
Most of them were raised by single women. So you have to consider like, okay, I'm a guy, I'm in my 30s, I'm ready to start dating. One of the first thoughts needs to be, can I afford the woman that I want? And if you're making $50,000, for the kind of woman that you'll get may most likely not be in alignment with the woman that you want.
Ooh.
And that's a hurt piece, but you got to pay to play.
You got to pay to play.
Question for the men. Why is it that men have stopped approaching women in public altogether? I feel like back in the 90s or maybe early 2000s, I would always see it in TV shows where men would walk up to a woman that they're attracted to, ask her out on a date, ask her phone number, or just, have a cute little banter. But that seems to not be a thing anymore. Why is that?
Why are some men so creepy? Just this week, I go grocery shopping, I'm loading the groceries up in my trunk, and I hear somebody go, Hey ma'am. Realize he's talking to me and kind of give him a soft smile. He asked if he can help me load my groceries. Mind you, I think I had 5 bags, maybe 6. Maybe I'd split 6 bags. I say no thank you. He says he insists. And he's now standing right next to me at the back of my trunk with my groceries after I told him no. He then asked if he can get my number. I once again said no thank you. And he said, I insist. Of course, I'm trying to back away. I'm trying to put my cart back. I'm trying to lock my car up, thinking about what I can do to keep myself safe in this situation. And finally, I just pulled the, oh, I have a boyfriend card, because it's sometimes the easiest way to get out of these situations. He did finally respect that, and he walked back to his car, and maybe he was just being nice. However, I felt super uncomfortable with him approaching my car, and I was very glad I was wearing this at the time, because had something gone worse than it went, I would have been able to double click this and alert my family and friends that I needed help, and they could have started tracking my location. Actually, at the time, I also had the keychain version hooked onto my purse, so even if I hadn't had this one on, I always had a backup to where I could still alert my family and friends that I needed help. But men will be men and creepy men will be creepy men, so I urge you to invest in a product that makes you feel safe if you're approached in a parking lot and the guy's not taking no for an answer. I know the necklace and the keychain are some of the most popular designs they have, so if they have either of these in stock right now, you should absolutely purchase it. Stay safe out there.
What's up with men? Men don't come up and ask or talk to you anymore.
Why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? The masculinity on earth has diminished drastically that guys don't even come up to you anymore. They'll just stare at you from a distance.
Y'all dug this hole for yourselves, man. Man was approaching y'all. Y'all told us stop.
You know, I'm really terrified out here, bro. Of being labeled as a creep, being inappropriate, or like
getting embarrassed in public. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, end up viral because you are the woman out in the most respectful way. Like, you know what I mean? So I think men are just choosing their peace.
Act like women are so complicated, but you want your wife to sleep with you more, maybe try being obsessed with her. Like, she can feel when you're not. So try being absolutely obsessed. Like, not annoying.
Not annoying.
Obsessed. Let her know that you're thinking about her 24/7 and thinking about what you want to do to her 24/7.
Yeah, it's a real job.
But also help her out mentally and emotionally as well. So help with the kids. Help pick up things around the house. Help take off that mental load. But also be obsessed with her.
Let's just roll that back. It's because women are actually complicated. And until women can acknowledge that they're difficult and they're complicated, because as women, we don't even understand what we want, but we want men to understand us in the same capacity that we don't even understand ourselves. Let's make it make sense. So that's just for starters. But number 2, the idea that you want your man obsessed with you and he has to kind of earn intimacy is transactional. Y'all come on here and talk about men, wanting this and doing that just to get something in return, but y'all want men to be obsessed with you in order to get something in return. Like, make it make sense. But this is like 2025 female delusion, is this idea that men need to give them Disneyland romance all of the time and be obsessed. Do you realize being obsessed, 1, is not healthy, 2, it's codependent, 3, you'd probably call him narcissistic or love bombing you the moment that it stops, which is why it never works in the first place. And number 4, why does a man have to be obsessed with you in order for him to get the one thing that he needs in a relationship? So you mean to tell me that you have a laundry list of standards and expectations, but in order for him to get that one need met, he has to be obsessed with you? Is that not delusion? Is that not narcissism? Is that not normal? And last time I checked, how many of y'all are obsessed with a man, but you want him to open up his wallet? How many of you expect a man to do all of these things for you and y'all don't even want to answer his text back? How many of you give your husband the silent treatment and expect him to still know exactly what you want? So you want all of your needs met while you give nothing in return. Sounds fair. And it's not as simple as that. Because if a man, even your husband, is obsessed with you, you're going to say, oh, you're acting weird. Are you cheating on me? Do you still love me? Are you only doing nice things because I asked you to? So really it doesn't mean anything because I had to ask you to do so in the first place? Some of y'all need to seek therapy because it is not normal for you or your partner to be obsessed with you while it being one-sided. Because he shouldn't have to beg or plead or earn your love because love is reciprocated within a relationship. Okay, bye.
A lot of these modern women like to think that chivalry just out of nowhere. What men aren't chivalrous anymore? No. You guys decided that every man was chivalrous. You was gonna clown him. You was gonna make a fool of him. If a guy opened a door, you get an attitude with the guy. If you gotta pay the bill, then all of a sudden, oh, as he should, that's the bare minimum. I'm not continuing to do that anymore. Because you're an idiot and you say dumb stuff about it. Stop doing that.